We have Mkhuleko Hlengwa speaking for the IFP. Your response to the President's address tonight.
Thank you very much, Francis. Good evening to you and the viewers. Well, the IFP welcomes the President's announcement because this effectively enables us to now have a clear direction in terms of how campaigning and electioneering will take place ahead of the local government elections scheduled for November 1. However, we do want to, as the IFP, to reiterate that we do need to continue on the safety trajectory which we have embarked upon as a country to ensure that we adhere to regulations which will prevent the frontiers of the spread of this virus. So that is very, very important. And tomorrow, the National Executive Committee of the IFP will be meeting as a response, of course, amongst others, to this announcement tonight in order to issue the necessary guidelines to our structures and volunteers in terms of how electioneering and campaigning will take place. But we think it's a prudent action step that has been taken by government insofar as the response to this pandemic is concerned, but we are also maintaining the view that we're not out of the woods just yet as a country, and so prevention is better than cure, and the safety of all South Africans remains the number one priority in all the activities that we'll be doing. But we will, of course, be making maximum use of the guidelines that have been prescribed by government.
All right, thank you for your response from the IFP, Mkhuleko Hlengwa. And we're now joined by Dennis Blum from COPE. What's your party's response to the President's address to the nation tonight?
Thank you very much, Francis. We welcome the announcement of the lockdown, the announcement from President Cyril Ramaphosa to adjust the lockdown to adjust level 2. We are specifically happy that we can again now go to church freely. But Francis, we must say that government must put more effort in the COVID-19 vaccine education. We know that there are still a section of society that are very reluctant to take the vaccine. Some people are still having questions. It's very important for government and the private sector to explain and answer those questions and not get impatient with this concern from the people. We must not just reject those concerns because we want to see each and every one must understand this thing of the importance of vaccine. We are saying that we are also happy that we can go out and meet our members, supporters, and the voters at large. We can now campaign freely and physically and not through social media. But we must say that people must not think that we have defeated this enemy, COVID-19. We must still adhere to COVID-19 protocols, washing of hands, wearing of masks, and social distancing at all times. It is in our hands. We must never allow a situation where more and more people are dying.
All right, thank you very much, COPE spokesperson Dennis Blum. And then we have the Economic Freedom Fighters spokesperson Leanne Matthys. Ms. Matthys, your party's response. All right, she was up. We'll see if we can fix that technical glitch. Let's take a short break and we'll continue to bring you reaction to the President tonight, easing some of those lockdown restrictions quite significantly when it comes to gatherings from 50 to 250 people indoors, 500 people outdoors. Will that make a difference for party political campaigning? Will bring you more reaction. In fact, we do have the EFF's Leanne Matthys with us right now. Ms. Matthys, your party's reaction to what the President announced.
Well, we welcome the move to adjusted level 2, particularly on gatherings. We know we are entering election season, or we're already in election season now, and the most important part It's not just elections day, but the campaigning that leads up into elections. And our constitution is very clear that we need to have free and fair elections. And part of the process is to be able to allow political parties to go and do door to door, to meet with communities and have community meetings. So, we welcome that part of the increase of political gatherings. However, when we have EFF gatherings, it's never limited to 500 people. But we're also not going to be adhering to Ramaphosa's lockdown regulations. We know that this is no longer just about COVID, but it's more about the ANC trying to stifle political parties from doing campaigning during elections. It's the reason why they have failed to register candidates, so now they want to use COVID restrictions to further restrict political parties from doing campaigning. So the EFF will continue to do its campaigning work as it always does and as it always will. In terms of Ramaphosa's comment about gender-based violence, it's a yawn. It's a big yawn from the EFF. We are so sick and tired of hearing a whole state president talk about us dealing with the state of gender-based violence as if he's not in charge with the country, as if it's not the state that is also a perpetrator and an enabler of gender-based violence. We're tired of just having bills that are passed and they don't have budgets to be able to be implemented. We are tired of state hospitals torturing women through forced sterilizations, and all we hear is the president come and tell us that as South Africans, men must do better. So we'd like to see more action from the ANC government in that.
All right, thank you very much, EFF spokesperson Leanne Matthys. And yes, there is a contradiction there. The president saying that all parties agreed election campaigning should adhere to the regulations. The EFF saying it will campaign as per usual. We take a short break.